Hello everyone, Sedrik and Sidra here, and this is the first presidential debate 2024 between the current president, Joseph R. Biden, and the former president of Donald J. Trump. And hey look, we're not political analysts. We're not. So we're going to be raw, honest. That's it. Raw and honest. We're going to call it for what it was. We don't have a bias because we don't really care about either one of them. So if you are not willing to hear the truth, then yes, this isn't for you. It's just not. If you want to hear how we saw this, how we listened, here you go. So jumping right into it, Trump was lively. He was there, lively, voice up, everything. Biden,
very soft spoken, like he was having difficulty projecting.
yes, he was down, just down. But when Trump, I mean, it's one thing to lie. It's another when you lie epically on the one that knows the truth about it with you.
Yes.
And that's when Biden would come alive.
And it was all in his face. You could read every facial expression. And because, the presidential debate is somewhere where you have to have decorum, he couldn't say what he was obviously thinking.
But you could read it. His facial expression, Biden's facial expression stole the show. Donald Trump enacted a very powerful social skill. Trump spoke first, lied epically. He knew he was lying, but he also said the things that he's always been saying. So even though, how can I say, you could fact check and know Trump is lying, but it's so consistent to him. Is he lying or just doing what he do?
Now, when we talk about Trump's facial expressions said all the quiet parts out loud.
Yes. When Biden spoke about the taxes, raising taxes and whatnot, when Biden spoke about it, Trump was more like, yeah. That's what I'm going to do, but it is what it is. And then he went against it vocally.
And then when Biden was talking about how Republicans wanted to abolish abortion across the board, he kind of shrugged like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what we're going for.
Yeah, and then he spoke for and against it and being absolutely against it, but for it so much and saying, that we have no more borders. There are no borders. We just have states with borders.
Yeah.
That's what he said. We don't have any borders anymore. We just have states with borders. Oh my goodness. Biden, this is what's the most severe thing? They call out everything. You could watch this debate and see what anyone has always been up against. Trump will come out and you got millions of illegal immigrants crossing the borders. They're just flooding our country. They're killing us. They're killing women. They're killing pregnant women. They're killing all these people. They're taking everyone's jobs. They're taking black jobs. I didn't even know there were black jobs.
There were black jobs, but apparently millions of immigrants take them after they finish killing women.
More immigrants come into this country and take jobs from black people. Black people make up like roughly 10 to 12% of this country, but the amount of immigrants coming in, the hundreds of millions of immigrants coming in, severely outweighs that, and they've taken all the black jobs.
All the black jobs. Oh, not to mention, when all the hundreds of millions of illegal immigrants get here, the government automatically puts them on Social Security.
Yes.
Oh, and Medicare.
They
Win, lose, or draw. They cross the border illegally, and they put them on Social Security.
They come in here, no name, no place of living. They have no residence, no reliable transportation, no job history, and they get Social Security. That is what Trump was saying. And there's a lot of people out there that will say it's true. I'm gonna tell y'all are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Biden. I'm not gonna be quiet. No. Y'all are stupid.
There's folks in this country who need Social Security disability benefits.
I need it, and I can't get it. I was born here.
So the illegal immigrants whose prime directive is to supposedly kill and murder and rape women, they get put on Social Security and Medicare. What? Really? And that's the expression that Biden had on his face the whole time. Are you serious?
I like at a later point when Trump said, Biden went off and he started calling Trump out, and Trump says, look, we don't need to sit here and argue like children. He goes, you are a child. That was funny. I am one to see this for what it is. And maybe you see it too, Sidra. I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
This debate meant nothing. It did nothing. It served nobody anything. If you are a staunch Democrat, it didn't matter what Biden said or didn't say, how he looked or didn't look. You're on his side because you have to be. And you'll find any reason to do it. If you are a stalwart, staunch Republican supporter or Trump supporter, Trump won hands down. There's no way to even talk about it because it's obvious. That's what that's going to come across as.
Trump did nothing but what the Republicans always do, which is peddle fear.
Yeah. They're killing us. They're coming over here. They're raping us. They're killing us. They're murdering us. They're killing all the women. They're killing all the children. They're taking the black jobs. They're taking some of the white jobs.
We're on the verge of World War III.
And Biden's going to put us right in there.
I'm like, what? Really? We're paying all the money. They wanted $1 trillion from us to be a part of the Paris Accord. Nobody was paying. China wasn't paying. India wasn't paying. Japan wasn't paying. But we were the only ones paying. And so I was like, it's a ripoff. What?
Donald Trump said the Palestinians were rioting.
Mm-hmm. And then he said they're rioting all over the country, everywhere. Everyone's rioting.
In the United States.
In the United States, right now.
The Palestinians are rioting in the United States right now. I haven't seen any news coverage. I haven't heard anyone saying anything. I have seen white people with Israeli flags attacking people that's protesting Palestine's need of safety, so that, I think I'm saying that right. Protesting that the Palestinians need safety, they need water, they need food.
Yeah.
They're advocating. That's right, advocating. They're protesting against Israel. And it's not against Israel.
It's against what they're doing.
Yes, they're not anti-Israel.
They're anti-Israel, killing defenseless people.
Both of them, Trump and Biden, agreed in one area, but Trump went overboard. And where they agreed was Israel should have carte blanche to do what they want. Biden proudly spoke of funding them with U.S. grade weapons.
Yeah, I did that.
Trump,
I get tired of his damn shoes.
Trump was saying that this wouldn't have happened because things just would have been different. How? Yeah.
He said this wouldn't have happened because Iran was broke and I wasn't letting anyone do business with them. Now, I don't know what the hell that's got to do with it. But he said that about 3 times.
Yeah. And Iran wasn't broke. Iran, I'm going to tell you what I think that was on a side note. I really think that's Trump trying to get out of it because he and I can't remember which one of his kids. But they had business dealings with Iran.
Kushner, right? His son-in-law,
That's who it was.
the one married to Ivanka.
And if he says that they were broke at the time, if he can say that now, then he could say we weren't having business deals. But they made a lot of millions dealing with Iran and had a deal set, but it never went through. So I think what Trump was doing was covering his ass by saying that. And then he could just go back and say, I said that they were broke. I said that they were broke. How could I possibly have done A, B, and C when I said that they were broke? I said that they were on that stage. I said they were broke. I told you that they were broke, so they were broke. They had no money. They couldn't have done it. It's like the whole country was broke.
Yeah, everybody.
Nuclear powered Iran, all of it was broke.
The entire government broke.
All of them, the people, the government,
The officials.
I mean, the ones living on the street and the ones living in people's homes that got nothing, they were all broke. All of them. Everyone on the street was like, how's it feel to be us, but living in a house, in a palace? But you're like us. I don't know, that's weird. So yeah, things don't add up. I think he was just covering his ass.
Mm.
But both of them spoke as if Israel was innocent. They ignored. Now granted, okay, look. Even the moderators, they was like, Hamas attacked, killing a few thousand Israelis. Okay, they did that. That's what Hamas did. Why? Don't know. But they did it. Was it wrong? Yes. But why would they do it? We don't know. Keep that in mind. But they attacked, they killed probably 3,000 or 4,000 Israeli citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing military, nothing governmental. They killed citizens. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Israel struck back. And I found nothing wrong with that. Israel did the right thing. You hit us, we hit you.
Mm-hmm.
But then Israel hit them again and again.
And they kept hitting.
And would not stop.
Still hitting.
Still hitting. Even after, was it October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's been 8 months. They've been hitting them. They got hit once. And they've been hitting Palestine, Gaza, nonstop. And just, 3 months ago, it was, we're going to stop your food. We're going to stop your water.
Mm-hmm.
So Israel had that power. Or they knew who to talk to there to get it done. But they stopped the water. They stopped the food. They bombed hospitals full of wounded. They bombed schools while school was in session. Not saying they bombed the schools and people lived. No, they bombed and killed them.
Mm-hmm.
They killed them.
And both of these dudes.
They hadn't got hit back.
Nope.
There hasn't been a return fight. Just imagine watching two prize fighters in the ring. They square up. One punches the other in the face, back up to the corner. And then they ring the bell. And then the one that got hit go in and just starts waylaying. And the person's like, I'd like to fight back, but I know if I do, it's going to be really bad. Mm-hmm. The referee says, keep on whooping him in the face. The fans are cheering it on. Yes, beat him in the face. He hit you before the bell rang. And it's like, well, yeah, now he's 500 punches in. The guy can't see. He's missing teeth. His mouth guard's dropped. His arms are on the ropes. That he's not standing up. His feet are limp. His legs are gone. They're done. They're spaghetti. And he just beating him in the face and the body. Now he's going to the body because there's nothing left of the face. And everyone's still cheering it on because that's exactly what it looked like. I think that's a great parallel.
Yeah.
So Biden and Trump both spoke that Israel's doing the right thing of annihilating a country that isn't even fighting back. Trying to kill Hamas, who hasn't been killed. That's what this is. They spoke about, what was it, Charlottesville?
Yeah, Biden was talking about how awful of an individual Trump is and was, and that the reason why he decided to run again is because after the Charlottesville incident, where all of these neo-Nazis came out of the woodwork with their rhetoric and their signs and their swastikas and everything that went down there. And then in response, Trump says, they're good people on either side. He was like, what kind of president responds that way? No other president would respond in that situation like that. And Trump said, oh yeah, it's all been debunked.
When Biden threw out there, he said it was good people on both sides, Trump did that smirk, smile, shrug of the shoulders thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he never denied it.
Nope. He just said, it's been debunked. I mean, even as of two days ago, 19 people or something he made up debunked that.
And Biden looked like, are you kidding me? Now look, here's the thing. Here's a little bit of retribution. Trump did to Biden what Biden did to Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Bernie was calling Biden out, and he's like, nope, that didn't happen. And I loved Bernie's reactions of, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Joe, shaking her head, Joe, now you know.
And Joe would look at the camera and have a subtle smile like, I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. I'm going to say Trump actually got Biden on one thing, but he never expanded on it.
What?
When Biden said he ran, because what kind of person would say that there's good people on both sides when you got one swastikas and Nazi paraphernalia, and the other side is just trying to say stop hurting people. And he's like, what kind of person is that? So I had to run. Trump said, that's a lie, you didn't run because of that. Trump had to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was about to give up the game.
Mm-hmm.
And see, y'all probably don't know what that game is. Let me explain something. That thing that happened in Virginia, that's not why Biden ran. Biden, he had always kind of wanted to be president. And being vice president for Obama kind of helped get his little foot in the door there, even better than before. Now he's recognized as vice president, and he's with Obama. So that means he's going to get some of the black vote, plus the cursing, the swearing, all that stuff. That's just going to get the people being like, man, he's like us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But you don't need to be just like us. What happened was he didn't even consider probably jumping in, or the DNC was telling him, no, not you. When things failed with Hillary during her and Trump on the second run, Trump's going for the second one, and there's the Democratic primary.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going well. At first it was, but then Hillary got found out. They tried with Warren. Warren had a backroom deal with Hillary, changed her position on Medicare or universal health care. Medicare for all, I was going to say, but universal health care. She changed her position on that. And the people was like, Warren, no. Because Warren was great everywhere, and that talked to Hillary, come out the next day, we might need to slow off on that. Hillary was caught saying, look, Banks, I know what I said to the people, but I'm going to let you do what you do because you know what you're doing. I got to tell the people one thing and I got to tell you the other. Y'all going to do what you got to do and it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary's done. Warren is done. Lessig was done not long before the beginning because he didn't have the money. And even though he kept getting what he needed, the DNC kept moving the goalpost. So there was barely anyone. Bernie was still strong. But, I mean, people, racism, a lot of people aren't going to vote for a Jewish person. The DNC themselves pulled Biden up. They did not support Bernie Sanders because he was against the financial status quo.
Mm-hmm.
Everything all right with Bernie, except he was anti-financial status quo, which they called him an anti-capitalist. So they called him a socialist, and he had to come out and say he's a democratic socialist. He had to come out and say that, and that's where that started getting pumped into the airwaves. The DNC had to run Joseph R. Biden because there was no one left, and a man would surely win. And against Trump on that stage in the general, somebody that hasn't been marred by poor rhetoric would be an easy win. Easy win. And that's what happened. That's the story. And when Trump called Biden out and said, that's not why you ran, that Charlottesville, Virginia thing is not why you ran, he had to shut up. Trump isn't stupid. Trump isn't, I don't think he's really suffering too much from dementia. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But the truth when it comes to talking to society is you all, and people hate this about me because no one wants to be accountable for their own. And when I say their own, I mean the one in the mirror. These two up here on the debate stage, in your face on this screen, the ones battling for the presidency of the United States of America, are there because of the voters not taking charge and allowing two committees to tell them who they're going to vote for. And the people, instead of saying we want democracy, they say, all right, I will vote blue no matter who. Better red than dead.
Yeah, they're sending into tribalism. And no one, I'm not going to say no one, the majority of people do not have a understanding of the actual role that people should be playing in this government. Because yeah, people vote. You vote in quote unquote who you want, but all that shit is preordained by two parties. And I don't know the Constitution that well at all, but I'm fairly sure you have to nominate two parties, do everything for you, was not in there.
Nope. There's been multiple parties
over the decades,
and they're still out there now, and only two parties keep snuffing them out. They will not announce to you when they knock on your door, when they call you on that phone, when they put those advertisements out. They will expound for democracy while not telling you who else is running, just so that they can have their foot in the door all the time and nobody else. There's 2 feet in the door and each one belongs to a party. And if you look outside past who own those feet, you will see a lot of people out there wishing to get their foot in the door, but they're being blocked. And in this election, I can tell you right now, I'm abstaining. I'm abstaining. And I'm going to tell you why. This is not for Sidra. This is for Sedrik. I'm talking for me. Neither one of these people got any of our interest at heart. Biden says he's done things for black people. He ain't done shit.
Yeah, that is what I was going to address. They asked a specific question about a few of the problems that black folks are dealing with in this country.
They thought the moderators, the prices of groceries was $100 and now it's $120.
I said no,
bullshit.
It's double and sometimes triple.
See, how much do you pay for groceries?
$300 to $400 every 2 weeks.
Ain't getting much. We don't get much. Okay? 5 and 10 years ago, 5 years ago, before the pandemic, how much would you have been paying?
For 2 weeks of groceries? Not even $200.
Somewhere in that 194 area.
Yeah.
5 years before that, I think the guesstimation was somewhere about 100, 105. We was kind of like, what's going on?
5 years before that.
So 10 years ago.
10 years ago, you and me, I'm going to go a little further back. Before our daughter was born, me and you could eat off $150 worth of groceries, including supplies like tissue and all that stuff. We're not eating the tissue, but we need the tissue. Stuff like that. For a month?
Roughly 3 weeks to a month and a week.
Yeah.
So somewhere from 3 weeks to about 5 weeks, about $98. So wipes, tissue. It could be ground beef, ground turkey.
Wipes on the thing back then.
No. Yeah, this is pre-her.
Yeah, pre-her.
I'm thinking the apartment.
Yeah, pre-her.
I'm thinking the apartment. It was all good, but now it's way up there.
Now, and here's the reality.
That means they what we're saying is they're detached. They have no reason. We don't look. I'm just gonna be blunt. This is coming from Sedrik only, so y'all can hate. But out of touch, well-to-do white people don't ever need to talk about economy. They don't need to talk about it. They don't need to. I'm an analysis. No, you're nothing. You're a liar and you're privileged, and you need to shut your damn mouth and stay out of it. They don't
represent the population. They don't represent the lower class white people in this country.
The lower class white people will listen to them and think, yeah, it's going okay. And then you got those. It's like, no, it ain't.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. They sitting there like, we can't afford groceries. We got to live sometimes without power just so we can eat for a week. There's white people out there like that. Don't think they're not.
They're out there. Now, if wages increase as much as prices did, then we wouldn't have anything to complain about. But they don't, and they haven't increased in like 50 years.
If wages increase along with inflation, the minimum wage right now would be $24 to $26 an hour. That's the truth. You can go research that, everything. But that's these two people on stage, no. And put $10,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. So Trump failed across the board when they asked, "What are you gonna do to attract black voters who are dealing with this?" They were talking about, black voters and home prices, the high maternal mortality for black women.
And he talked about migrants coming over the border.
They didn't have anything to say about that. All Biden had to say was that there's more work to do. But what we did do is we reduced the amount that black families have to pay for child care with, I guess, some sort of tax subsidy. And we, for black first-time home buyers, we give them a $10,000 home credit on their taxes. Let me tell you something. I don't know about where y'all live, and I ain't finna divulge where we live, but houses are averaging $400,000. $400,000.
That's the price.
3-bedroom, 2-bath houses.
That's the price. That's not after interest over 30 years.
Brand new. Now, if you get you a 3-bedroom, 2-bath that isn't new, that might be $250,000, $250,000. So if you are a first-time homeowner and you're black people and you're trying to get into a home because you want to get out of where you are, and that home costs, let's say, $250,000, what the fuck is $10,000 going to do? Nothing.
Imagine someone giving you, okay, just if y'all out there, just hear me. Just if someone says, I'm going to cut you a check, okay, for $100,000, okay? And you're like, your eyes light up, $100,000. Just say yes, and I want you, because you got to pay it off in full, in order to not have to give this money back. But I want you to use this money. I want you to use this money to purchase a Bugatti Veyron, fully, just all the bells and whistles on it. That's it, $100,000. That's the down payment. And you need to buy a Bugatti Veyron and make the payments on it. You might say I'm full of shit right now, think that I'm saying something stupid, but $10,000 on a $384,000 home that when you're finally done, that home is going to be somewhere in the 500,000s, maybe 700,000 after all the taxes and everything.
Interest.
All the interest, the taxes, the bells and whistles, the house repair, the house upgrades if you can get any, lawn care. And if you're in the HOA, you are really, really going to pay out the ass. $10,000 on a home that, no.
Nope.
That's like giving you, okay, here's $75 to go put a down payment on the used car. We don't care if it's $500.
To even tip the scales, you would need to give somebody their year's salary. First time home buyers, they're not making $250,000. They're not making $100,000. They may not be making $50,000. So you would need to at least, bottom bare minimum, give them a year's salary to maybe do something.
You have to give them, it'd be a minimum of $27,000 to the average of $42,000, and that's not even middle class. When I first started CR, middle class was $42,000.
Not no more.
It's well above that
close.
now. Middle class now starts where doctors started off when I was a child. When I was a child, living in a home, this home where we are right now was seen as overly expensive. My mom and dad's home was somewhere in the $10,500 range. They messed that up. They had it paid off, but they messed that up, taking out another mortgage for those propaganda commercials. And it was way more than $10,000. This home where we are said what about $78,000 some dollars?
Mm-hmm.
And just across the street, they range from $384,000 to $472,000, and they're smaller than this home.
Yep.
And have way less land. Their land is driveways.
Yep.
Just driveways or car parks, if that's what you want to call them.
10 to 15 feet a yard, maybe.
So that's where it's going. Food prices are going to go up even more. In 2 years, everything that you have right now, add 15% to it. That's going to be an average. Is your paycheck going to go up 15%? And if they say, look, your paychecks, they got to add $5 to your paycheck. Trust and believe everything's going to go up by 50 to 70%.
And generally, you don't get more than like a 2% raise anyway at any job.
If you're fortunate, if they even give you a raise. They don't cover reality. And Biden has a tail. When Biden says, we've got work to do, we're not done. We've got more work to do. That means he ain't doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing that he's doing. Y'all can be mad at me if you want, but how many times have you gone to your parents or somebody and you have a situation and they might say, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Or let's talk about that later. And it don't get talked about. And if you try to bring it up, they get upset with you. You think these people are different just because they're wearing these $5,000 or maybe $10,000 suits? And because of their position of power?
Suit, they overpaid, man. Some plain looking.
Oh, you pay for the stitching, how clean it is, and it's tailor made to fit, and the name of the person that made it, and there's a lot that goes into it, And saying that you paid that much money for it, people take you more serious.
Man, pay that much money, I'm gonna look fancy.
I pay that money for a suit. I need to have an orgasm maybe 4 steps. I take.
I'm gonna look fancy.
I look myself in the mirror and be like, "Yep, I'm sexually satisfied."
Another tale that Biden has is when they ask a question and he responds and finishes well under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's it. That's all we got. And they're like, so what else you got? Oh, and he'll go into something.
Donald Trump doesn't have a tail. He doesn't. And I'm going to tell you why. because it's on his sleeve with everything. Biden slips. Then you got to learn what it is. And you say, okay, I get you. Okay, you move on. You ain't got to think about it. Trump just comes out. He comes out lying, and lying. And he can say it, do it, get away with it. It's the old school of, I said it, so you'll believe me. His base ate that up.
Oh, yeah.
And Biden, what did he have to do? The same thing anyone else does. And I'm going to tell you what he should have done from jump. But what did Biden do? He's got to disprove in the best that he can, in a speedy amount of time, everything that Trump had said. Biden's got to disprove it, debunk it, and then tell you what he has done, what he plans to do, and put down some form of fashion of how you can find empirical evidence of what he's saying. But he's so slow. His brain is on fire. You look at Joseph Biden and his mind is sharp, but his delivery is a snail.
That way anymore.
He knows what he wants to say, but it's not coming out at the speed that he wants to say it. And you don't fault Biden for that. He's gotten older. It just happens.
Yeah.
And the truth be told, anyone that's railing against it because they're old, y'all need to think, don't you want to live to be that old? Because if not, just speed up and be done with yourself now.
Just hang it up now.
You know?
I get the
theme song of MASH comes to mind.
I get the arguments about, these old white men in power. But it needs to be more about the decisions they're making and why.
Exactly. The decisions that they're making and why they are making those decisions. The why is the most important thing in any discussion, because debates do nothing. Who won the debate? Are you a Republican? Then you know who won. Are you a Democrat? You know who won. But are you for democracy? Then you know you lost. Are you for actual democracy? Because if you are, then you did not win. Your person won't even up there. Because Biden is speaking on behalf of the DNC. Trump is speaking on behalf of Trump.
If you want to go as far as policy-wise and saying things overall that seem advantageous, Biden won.
Biden is your guy.
But if you are going on being clear, insulting, and galvanizing that Republican fear, then Trump won it all the way. He's got you scared of millions of immigrants coming around over the border, to open borders that nobody's stopping, coming here to rape and kill women. He got you scared of World War III. He got you scared of inflation that Biden caused. He got you scared of energy dependence that Biden caused. He got you scared of everything.
Yep.
And I'm going to be the one to fix everything, even before I actually make the oath of office. I'm going to fix everything.
I am going to fix this Middle Eastern thing before I even get into office. He said, before I'm sworn in, I'll have it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really? Okay, hold up. Do it now. You're not sworn in. Do it now. Why do you have to even be ready to be sworn in to do a good thing? Do it now then. If you're going to do something good, if you're going to really help us out, do it now. You do not have to pressure good people to do good things, but you certainly got to push bad people to do decent things.
Mm-hmm. And if you are a part of that percentage that spends your time worrying about what the other is going to do outside your door with your gun in hand, then the Republicans got you.
Yeah, you're done.
And they've done
meaningless.
had you.
What Biden should have done from jump, from the very beginning of this, he should have. Wait, Sidra, did you notice that when Trump would talk, Biden would look kind of like, I didn't know this man lied like this. Like he won't prepare for Trump's lies. Like he did. Like, he didn't hear anything that Trump had ever said for the first 4 years and now damn near 8 years.
I think he was thinking, because they basically double dog dared Trump to do this, that he wouldn't be himself. That he would, try to be quote unquote presidential. And so I think he was surprised.
Trump was at a rally.
He was tripling down on this man.
And Biden is like, I don't believe
this. And that's the general reaction. When you really hear some blatant lies, even if you know the person is a liar, it hits you and you're like, I don't believe they just formed their mouth to say that.
I grew up with it. I know. I grew up with it. It's like, oh my goodness.
And this person
this person is lying to me, and I know the truth with this person. What in the world? This is happening. And look, but if I ever live to be 85, 90, 95, I'm not going to be talking like this. I'll probably be talking a little bit like this, trying to tell you how I feel about things.
There's a lot that it takes to project. You have to have the lung power.
You got to have the vocal power. You got all of that stuff is wilting. It's slowing down. It's hardening. It's making it harder for him to talk. His brain is there, but as I was saying, what he should have done, because I wish he had done this. Now, yeah, he's going to have his expressions, and that's good. That's good. But he shouldn't even spoken about it. He should have literally thrown out there, if any of you believe anything this man is saying, I don't even know why you have the freedom to vote.
Take the my cousin Vinny approach. Everything the Vince said is bullshit.
Yep, everything this man just said is bullshit.
Thank you.
You were streaking that from the record.
Except for the thank you.
Yeah, what else is new? What?
What did you just say? What did I say?
Just looking at him
like you said something.
Sorry, my cousin
Vinny is an awesome movie.
Yes. Joe Biden should have not really said anything and just focused on the question. Don't address what Trump says. And if they ever ask, you haven't addressed anything that President Trump has said.
If there really is any point talking to a liar.
There you go. I'm not going to, when he starts talking the truth, I'll start responding.
Otherwise, I'm not going to dignify it with a response.
And that's
I'm going to take my time to speak to the American people.
There you go. See what I'm saying? That's what he should have done from jump. That's what he should have done.
But the old Joe was still in there. Like when last time he ran. You want to take it outside? That's the Joe that's in there.
He's still
he ready to mix it up.
You could see it on Joe Biden's face. Man, if I was 30 years younger, I'd whoop your ass right here on stage. He begging for 10 years younger. Honestly, you can see it. You can see, like, man, I saw 3 flashes of I beat your ass if we were if these people were here. I'd be beating your ass right now. And Trump, I'm in better shape now than I was 10, 25 years ago. He's like, he was 6'5", 230-some pounds or something. And Trump is kind of like I don't really know, but whatever it is you coming up with, I'm better than that. You can see it on his face.
I've taken 2 cognitive tests and I aced them. The White House doctor said, that nobody's done that.
But Ronnie Johnson.
But I aced him. Acing him.
And I think he got his name right this time, though.
Oh, good.
Good job.
You know who it was that administered the test on your brain capacity that you aced.
This debate, I was really wanting to see who was going to fall asleep first at the podium. Everyone else was wondering who's going to... there was one point in the beginning where Biden paused. It was in the beginning. Mm-hmm. He paused. I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
But Biden...
Then he kept it moving.
I'm going to tell you straight up. And people are going to not... no one's going to talk about this. I truly believe it. No one's going to talk about this. Biden, he tripped in multiple areas. Mm-hmm. And the reason he tripped in those areas was because there's so much he wants to say If anyone out there is a writer of any form where you do articles, stories that are fiction or nonfiction, or you're ghostwriting or something like that, there are times where you write and you look back at a sentence as you read through it and you're wondering, what's wrong with this sentence? And then your brain snaps it. I had two things in mind and I was trying to write them at the same time.
Trying to communicate. Start off with one idea and they flow into another and they don't flow.
And that's what Biden was doing. Biden was trying to call out these numbers and they kept switching. Like 3 billion. No, it was 40 million. Yeah. 500 million. No, it was 20 million. Because lots of facts, lots of information, and it's in there. It's sharp. It's right on the surface. It is right there behind those blue hues of his. But he's got to get it past the mouth.
And something else that happens when you're standing there and someone is lying in the most outrageous fashion, you get stuck. It's like I don't believe it.
Okay, look. First of all, the thing that he said didn't happen. The way that he's saying it happened wasn't even factual. I got to call out these numbers of these places that they asked me about. But this guy, he's not. And look, hold on. If they ask you, if they say, look, I'm gonna make something up. The South Carolina pipeline burst. There was 700 million gallons of oil spilled overnight. There is now a lake of oil that was once a county. What are you going to do about this? And now, what are you going to do about this? Okay, President Biden, you return to office, or President Trump, you return to office. What will either of you do about it? Trump, you go first. And Trump will say, we're going to clean it up. And we're going to restore that area. It's going to be beautiful. The most beautiful area. The oil, we're going to clean it up. We're going to get it together. And then we're going to distribute that oil because we need that energy. But what we're not going to do is let all the migrants in and let Biden let those migrants in and take the oil. Take the oil and rape the land and take that land like they've done so many other pieces of land in this country that Biden has allowed these migrants to do. Migrants have come in and they have caused many abortions. They have murdered many women. They have taken the black jobs. These migrants have come in and decimated our economy. They're killing us. They've killed the country. And okay, Biden, what would you do?
What lie do you tackle first? Come on,
you got to discern that.
Biden.
Well, how would he do it? There's no one coming into this country taking anything. Nobody's going to take the oil. He can't take the oil. It takes a lot of measurements to clean up that oil. It's soaking into the soil. That land is going to be destroyed. There's no crops that's going to grow there or anything. We're going to have to really dig deep to get that done. It takes time. He'd be looking at him. It takes time. Like, you damn fool. You can see it. He'll say it. You can see it in his eyes. You damn fool.
Trump is like, no. He's a liar. He just doesn't want to help.
And by the time Biden gets done debunking everything Trump has said, he goes, and what we're going to do is we're going to get officials. We're going to get them together. We're going to get the oil soaked up. Yes, we have to do that. But then we have to remove the soil as far down as that oil has sank into the soil. We got to remove all of that everywhere possible and replace it with fresh soil. We have to remove the okay. Next question, and it's damn.
By the time he gets through one thing, he's out of time.
I mean, that I don't have sympathy for Biden. I don't have sympathy for Trump. I've got sympathy for everyone else, and it's holding on by a thread. Because all of you, we're 49 minutes in, all of you listening, you've got bills. Your children, they are either sick, they could become sick. You could become sick or are sick. You need medical help. We're a capitalist country. You need money. You say you need insurance. Insurance takes money. So you need money. And that money goes to food, electricity, water. We don't have clean water. We don't. Trump says the water was the cleanest while he was in office.
The air was the cleanest.
Everything was, yeah. But you've got these bills. You've got these issues. Your home might need to be in repair. Your yard may need to be in repair. If you've got either one, your money is being drained. Prices of everything you need to eat, drink, your supplies for cleaning yourself, your home, your clothing is going up. Your pay is staying right where it is, and if it goes up, you get a raise enough to subsidize a little bit of the tax taken out of your paycheck. In other words, you don't really see that increase too well. So, how do you win? You're for Biden, you're for Trump, or are you for you? Right now, I can honestly say, though I'm not voting this year, for these anyway, for these two, but yeah, Biden needs to win. So if you're voting for Biden, even against your better judgment, or, well, it can't be Trump, even if it's just against Trump, I support that. I support that. Trump is vile. Biden, moderately bad. Just moderately. He's not an evil person, but he's not for us. That's the problem.
And we know more and more exactly what Trump is for.
Him. And money. Trump, I can't blame Trump. Is Trump doing anything wrong? No. It's all, this to be rational, okay? This is your one life. What should your one life be? Helping everyone else while you suffer? It should be to help you. Yeah. It's your life.
But he spent his entire life prior to being president helping him.
Yes,
and he was just fine. Yes,
it's his life.
But
he should always be for him.
But now he's in a position where in his helping of him, he is going to be fucking up the rest of us.
Exactly.
It is no status quo. It's going to be about the same as it was. No, it's going to be significantly worse. And they got the old Trump Bible to prove it.
Donald Trump is all about him. Like, I'm not telling you or anyone else out there that I'm for Donald Trump.
Oh, of course not.
Okay, so y'all need to understand that. What I'm trying to say is psychologically, this is your one life. You should be about you. Trump is all about him, his money, his greed, his fame, the way he is seen, the way he's viewed, the way he's spoken of. And for someone at that level of narcissism and arrogance, hubris, all of that, you have got to be an authoritarian to the nth degree. And if anyone talks bad about you, that's bad publicity. But if they're talking about you in droves, that's good publicity. But for those that are supposed to be on his side, saying bad things about him, well, we have to stop that. You know, that's what we got to stop. So he's going to do what he's got to do. He wants to be leader permanently. He wants his children to take his place slightly. Donald Trump just wants to be numero uno. And that's it. And he's going to ruin everyone's lives to make sure his life stays epic. The billionaires stay billionaires and become trillionaires. And everyone caters and gives to him and him only. And he'll use that money and that fame and notoriety and energy any way he sees fit and won't give anything back. And what they get back is him not demonizing them. What they get back is him not taking more. Pray that the deal does not alter any further.
Yeah.
That's Trump, his little dead gerbil eyes. That's him. Biden will incrementally help, but he will greatly help corporations. Under Biden, because no one on CNN spoke of it. No one even asked about it. But yeah, well, no, they did. Hey, we got to tax them 25, 26%. No. What you do is you tax the profits 97%. That's what you do. You don't tax the company, you tax the profits. You regulate them so that they can't hide anything. You tax the profits. If they hide money in the Caymans, then that money is taxed 99%. That's what you do. Do what you can. They can levy taxes and tariffs and everything on full-on countries, but they can't do it to a bank that's got money in there for people from their own country? Oh, hell no. You ain't gonna tell me that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So, yeah. If you there's a lot. I'd fix the hell out of this country. I'd fix this country. Because we the people, not we the upper class. If everyone can't have it, no one needs to have it. If you could go out there and do things to amass a fortune, but then find ways to keep others from not attaining the same, no, that's not doable.
Yeah,
no.
that's a problem. If you can amass your fortune, anybody should be able to amass a fortune on an equal playing field.
Yes.
And this country is far from having that.
It's that simple. It's that simple. The debate was fun. We laughed a lot.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious, but it was demonstrative of the problem, one of the many problems in this country.
I don't think I could vote for anyone this coming election. I want to vote Jill Stein, Green Party, or something like that. But look, they call those parties vanity parties. I get it. I understand. However, what's up with our two-party system? And y'all need to understand this. I'm gonna throw this out there. Everyone espouses that it's a two-party system, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct, right? It's a two-party system.
That's what folks say.
They said it for so long. That propaganda is stuck in everyone's head. It's a two-party system. It's a two-party system. It's a two-party system. That means one of these parties gotta go. One of these parties gotta get the fuck up out of here. That means one of these parties, Democrat or Republican, has got to go for another party to slip in.
And there shouldn't be parties.
It should be people. For the people, by the people. Not for the people, by the party, for the tribe.
Yeah. Hey, this is me. I'm running for this. This is how I think things should be done. Another person. Hey, this is me. I think this is how things should be done. And then several others. It shouldn't just be two.
The maximum 16 people. I think, you know what, in all honesty, let's just, only two people in any state can run for president, and it shouldn't take $4,000.
It takes $4,000?
$4,000 or $40,000 to sign up and get all the bells and whistles and all that stuff so you can run. And then after that, bare minimum, you have to gain a certain amount of
donations. It used to be $3 million.
You need about $3 to $4 million. And you need to have, at first it was 1% of the vote. Then Larry Lessig got that one. Then it went up to 3. He got the 3. Then it went up to 5, and he dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it went back down when he dropped out. I think
because he was being drained.
Larry Lessig said he was going to run for one term. No, he was going to run, and once he was able to get money out of politics, he'd be done.
I
And
think
that's
that was
it.
I think that was the only flaw in his plan.
Okay, Biden said he's going to go one term though.
No, one term and saying I'm gonna get money out of politics and then resign are two different things.
You get money out of politics. If you can get money out of politics, you have literally, legitimately saved 90% of this country.
But after you get the money out of politics, then you need to establish a significant framework to make sure it doesn't return. And that's going to be even harder work.
Yep. And here's the thing. People don't realize Larry Lessig should have been the eye-opening person to say, "Wow, this is our actual country. This is what we live in." It was right there, Republican, Democrat, Green, Liberal, Science. Even if you drug up the original Progressive Party, the Black Panther Party, it should have been like, whoa, this one guy running on these principles, and both major parties shut that shit down.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to be different.
Just like they did Henry A. Wallace. They had to shut that down. It was almost the same playbook, except in this day and age, being broke down took way shorter of amount of time. It didn't take 5 years. It took 5 days.
Yeah.
Legit 5 days.
Because Leslie didn't have all the donors and shit that the two parties have, and he was bankroll a lot of the shit on his own. And it comes to a point, I can keep doing this and bankrupt my family, or I could not.
The country, they didn't even know that this guy did this. Only a select few even knew this guy was even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And not once would the RNC or the DNC let you people know that Larry Lessig was running what he was running for and on. Not one of them. And if you think you live in a democracy when you are being bamboozled by one of the two parties and you wholly trust them when they have nothing but corporate ties and interests, and you think they're going to run anyone for you, you're a goddamn fool. And it's easier to trick somebody than it is to convince them that they have been tricked. That's the problem. I want us all to have good things, but it takes more than a want. It takes an idea. That's what it takes. And all of you, if you all had the idea to want better, to demand better, and just say, this is it. We can't do this anymore. We need actual democracy. And if you're not going to tell us who is out there, then we're not going to support you. We're not going to donate any money to you. Because even though y'all could donate your $5 and $10 to the DNC and people that they run, those millionaires and billionaires, they're donating a ton of money. And they aren't going to listen to you. They're listening to them. Which is why you can vote for the R or the D. And everything that either side do is mainly not for you. That's why it's like that. You don't have a democracy. No. You got basically a kleptocracy. They try to make it a theocracy.
They're working hard for it to be a theocracy.
They're doing everything. And let me tell you something. Donald Trump spoke a truth. Spoke another truth. The tariffs that Trump put in place that was destroying trade and aiding in price gouging.
Yeah, the trade war he implemented.
Biden didn't overturn it.
Didn't undo it.
All Biden got to do is write it. All he's got to be like, look, I ain't trying to look weak. I ain't trying to look strong. I'm trying to do the right thing. If it's all about the appearance of looking weak to why we can't live a comfortable life, go fuck yourself. I have no problem, because I've done it in real life, bending the knee for the greater good. I have no problem bending the knee. I'm sorry. that we did these things to you. Let us end this trade war. Let's stop this so that your country doesn't have to suffer. Mine doesn't have to suffer, at least from this. And let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
How do great people never apologize? It doesn't go. That's an oxymoron. Great people can see the fault and they'll correct the fault. They will apologize when they know they're wrong. Sometimes
They'll apologize when they're not wrong.
just to get better for everybody else. You're a mother out there. You're a father out there. How much sacrifice have you done just to make sure your loved ones, whether your child or your spouse or someone in your family, can have things just a little bit better or things just don't get worse? These assholes don't sacrifice shit. They don't sacrifice anything for not just you, but the 325 million people living here. They don't sacrifice.
They cultivate and propagandize tribalism because tribalism is easy.
People are tribal. You need to step out your tribe and just say, what is going on out here?
It's easy, and made them tribal and say vote. Okay, well, you picked your tribe, so you're going to vote for this person even though they're not going to do anything for you. And it forces people to not think and vote against their own interests. And they're always saying vote, vote, vote. Yes, vote, but it takes more than just voting. It takes a lot of background work before you step in the ballot box to vote.
What I saw on stage, what I saw on that stage was not somebody on either side I care to vote for. I won't vote for someone that says I'm going to arm a bullying country to murder millions. Murder millions, children, specifically bombing the hospitals with hundreds of children wounded, bombing schools where the schools was told that it was going to be safe. We're not going to bomb the schools, and then they bombed the schools. Not saying schools because one got hit, schools because over 5 got hit. They targeted it, and Biden is saying proudly that he is funding the bombing of that. That means your tax-paying money is going towards all of this to murder those people in another country that's done nothing to us. Their leaders did something to another country, and that other country didn't do anything to the leaders, but did everything to everyone else. And they're supporting it. Russia attacks Ukraine. Ukraine fights back, and Ukraine's the bad guy? Really? Yeah.
Let me add something to this. So we just watched the presidential debate. The election for president is in November. There are 50 states and some territories where this is going to be taking place. But understand something. They're not just presidential elections. There are state elections. There are city elections. There are states and cities who have people running for office just like Trump. You don't want to vote for Trump or Biden? Cool. Go to the ballot and see what else is going on in your state.
That's why I said what I said.
In your city. Because it's not just federal. It's not just national.
You are voting Trump or Biden for the mascot of the United States. That's what they are. But those mayors, those city council,
those governors,
those are the ones, if your state is shitty,
state congress,
that's who's doing it. When the president can say, this state needs $50 million to help this situation that only needs 35 million, and then Boebert says no.
Yep, and then you don't get what you need.
This state needs $100 million to fix a problem, an infrastructure problem. So we're going to send them 700, almost close to $1 billion. And Ted Cruz says no.
There's a referendum in your state trying to make abortions illegal after 5 weeks. And your state representatives vote in favor of that.
While telling you that they didn't. Once they do something, they've told you who they are. You don't need to keep voting for them. But just like Farron Cousins and anyone else would say that understands human psychology, people are so short-sighted they forget these things in a week or two. And I get it. You've got way more in your life to deal with, and you just hope that your vote will help everyone, but it don't. And it can't, because of who we are, what we do, and what we are not willing to see. Those that have their eyes open, we see it. We're very, very few. And we want better. But we're against the masses that just don't care. They just want to vote for who they vote for and move on and blame everyone else except them and their ways. Your vote is your voice. To them. Your voice is your voice to us. You're hearing me, but are you hearing me? There's hope, and you're it, but not by being tribal or partisan. Thinking clearly. Imagine what happened to these parties if every single one of y'all just voted sporadically to someone else that you want to vote for, not just a protest vote. Not, I'm against this, so I'm going to vote for that. No, this person has my interest at heart. I'm going to push for this person. I'm going to vote for that person until that person shows me that they're not the one I need to vote for. Imagine if you did that. And on the ballot box, when you get in, you write that person's name in. Do they have a chance of winning? Most likely not. But that's not necessarily true. In short, I'll make this really short. You talk to your friends and you give them the idea that they can make a strong difference. There's somebody running for something in your state. Let's say your county. And you talk to your friends and your family and say, this person's running and they're trying to do things that will actually be for us, not the corporations. Not for money from other special interest groups. They are working for us. Clean the water, clean the parks, clean this, make this safe. They're actually running. That's their platform. That's their promise. And we're going to hold them to it. But we got to vote them in. And you get your friends and family to actually look at this person and then vote for them. That person never shows up on the ballot, but that name is there. They ran. They have entered. But your parties will not let them be on that ballot. But you write that name in. And all of you write that name in and they win. Just imagine that kind of power. In one county, out of maybe 75 to 200 or even more, depending upon your state. And people hear about that county that did that. That is power. That's power. A little group, small voice, a massive vote. That's power. And that power will be heard. And you will have progressives talking about it. They're talking about how great that county is. And you've got the paid media like MSNBC, ABC, and NBC. They won't mention it. And then you'll have Republicans demonizing it, as well as certain Democrats demonizing it, calling it socialist, calling it counterculture, calling it whatever they can to make sure that what that happened in that county is seen as evil. That's what will happen. And at that point, that county will awaken because they've seen their power and they've seen what happens when the party system was not part of that power. They'll try to snuff it out. Trust. You do have the power. You just have to actually use it. They are afraid of you. And for these years, roughly 5 to 6 years, I've been pushing for you to use that power. All I can do is advocate for you to use the power you got. It's up to you to actually implement it. I can do what I can, and you should, well, do what you need to do. But nobody's going to hear this. They don't care. They wouldn't have got past 15 seconds. But that's going to do it for us. Unless you got more to say. So it's been Sedrik and Sidra for CR. And this has been our presidential debate of 2024, at least the first one. There might be a second one. We'll have to see. If you did get this far, I truly mean this. Thank you for listening.